Hello and welcome to the New Indian Express. Senior journalist Gautam Lahiri has done a big exclusive interview with former Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, in which she had made many important observations that could fuel conversations in the days to come. We have Gautam with us to talk about the interview and his thoughts on the situation in Bangladesh. Hello, sir. Welcome to the New Indian Express.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, you recently published an exclusive interview with Sheikh Hasina, the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh. So, could you please share some of the important points that she said during the interview?
Well, in the interview, actually, I tried to flag the major issues which the present interim government is raising against her. One about the corruption, second is about law and order problem when she was in the power and when the student Gen Z movement started, where the many students were killed by the security forces. So whether she took any responsibility, she should take any responsibility for that or not. And also the upcoming election, general election, what would be the role of Awami League? How they can contest the election when their political activities have been banned by the interim government, and election commission has not given any clearance whether they will participate or not. So that's the thing she answered candidly. I'm very glad that she had accepted my all questions, and she has. I was trying very hard to get an interview. Finally, she has agreed at almost after 1 and 2 months. So that's the issue. She denied all the corruption allegation. Rather, she made a counter allegation against the interim government's chief advisor, Muhammad Yunus. Also, secondly, she said that all the figures have been mentioned by the United Nations. She disputed the figure of 1,400 people killed. She said definitely large number of people killed, and I cannot shrug off my responsibility for what has happened. I feel sorry for that, but I didn't direct the security forces to kill people, because after the 5th August, many of the Awami League people were also killed. So the figure might be thousands, including the after 5th July to 5th, after 5th August. So in that is another issue. And third one was how she will face elections. That is the question being asked. Whether she said that in Bangladesh there is a practice, for the since 2014, that opposition party don't participate in the elections. She said that that is a wrong, that is actually weaken the democracy. So better. So she is very eager to participate in the election. She doesn't want to boycott the election. That's the major points. What I three issues, major issues, centering around I talked about many other issues also too.
Now, during the interview, we read that Sheikh Hasina has expressed her desire to contest the elections this time. What are your views on that? Should she be allowed to do it? And do you think, in the unlikely scenario that she is allowed to contest in the election, what would you say is the impact?
Well, first of all, I think it is my analysis. The name of Bangladesh has been created. The country was separated from the West Pakistan, is actually the movement launched by the Awami League. So the major party, which is actually did the revolution or the freedom movement, they should not be debarred from the election. That doesn't make any sense. An international community might not accept that election as a genuine election, as other elections were not during her regime. Western media, particularly the many people, those who believe in democracy, they were saying, questioning the legitimacy of that election. So definitely they should be allowed to participate, but I don't know. It is a subjective question whether they will be allowed or not, because only Muhammad Yunus had recently said that political activities which have been banned may be lifted. So if they allowed to do a political activities, I don't know whether they will be allowed to participate in election or not. But there is a lot of pressure is now on the Yunus government, so that Awami League should participate in election. And seeing the people's mood now, I don't think that they will be able to capture power by winning vote, but definitely there will be a sizable number of member of parliament can be elected. Could be a very good opposition right at this moment if they are allowed.
Okay, now what about the Gen Z revolution? The Financial Times recently published a report stating that the revolution had lost steam or was falling out. What are your views on that subject?
Yes, that's true. That's true. In fact, it's very unfortunate that now the major political parties are coming into the fray and they are now hoping to get the power again. Like major opposition party during Awami League's time was the BNP. Now they are hoping to capture power. Jamaat Islami and other Islamic group, they are also they also want to come into the power. But they have formed a party called National Citizens Party, but unfortunately, if you see the recent university elections, where before you can say what you were saying, the Gen Z, but Gen Z was not found in that university polls, in the Dhaka University, Rajshahi University, University. Jahangir University is the first time that Jamaat has swept the poll, and Jamaat is sweeping the polls in all the universities. So where is that Gen Z? So actually, political parties are coming into the forefront. They are slightly behind. That's why they are creating now a lot of noise, and they are asking the government to make the election, according to them, a free and fair. They're demanding many things. At first, there should be constitution change, and for that, a national referendum should be held first. So there are a lot of issues that are coming into the picture, but ultimately, general perception of the people, what you are referring to, that is true. They have gone behind the. Unfortunately, those who led the movement, they are not seen anywhere.
Now, during the interview, when you questioned her regarding the corruption allegations, Sheikh Hasina gave the answer that under her premiership for 15 years, the Bangladeshi economy had grown 450%. Do you think that growth engine is being continued under the current interim government under Muhammad Yunus?
Well, I'm not sure about the figure she has mentioned, 450%. But point is, it is true that even before the COVID, the growth, the economic growth of the countries was fastest in the world, and they almost reached 7 to 8% of growth. After COVID, it came down, but still touching the figure of 5 to 6%, which is quite high and higher than even India's growth rate. Now, again, the per capita income of the Bangladesh was higher than the Indian per capita income. So naturally, and the performance of this government was judged by the international community and like international organizations like IMF, World Bank, and the United Nations. They have agreed to give a kind of a let's say Bangladesh was a least developing country, no doubt, but they had agreed to give Bangladesh a status of a developing country within the 2 years. That is the next. It is actually it has to be. It had to be in 2026. They should be graduated to a developing country. But unfortunately, what is happening now the growth rate, even the International Monetary Fund has scaled down the growth rate. It mere 3%. And I'm told all the industry and all major industries are in a very bad shape, and people are not able to work there. Even they have been facing many economic crises, and industry as a whole is a very bad shape. Like the garment industry, there's a major revenue earner industry, pharmaceuticals, there's a major revenue, even the jute, those are actually suffering. And so I don't think these people are being retrenched there every day. So it's a very bad situation there, no doubt, economically speaking. So that's why during Sheikh Hasina's time, there was a many allegations of corruption, and she has also accepted that allegation. Yes, I don't deny that there was no corruption. Corruption was there. But the figure they are mentioning, it is astronomical. It is laughable, what she said. But at the counter, she also made certain allegations against the chief advisor of the interim government. So that is also yet to be probed, and I don't know who will probe it. But point is, so what I was saying, it is true. Now Bangladesh economy is in a very bad shape unless unless there is a proper election, free, fair, and inclusive, and also a proper legitimate political government comes into power. They can't do business with the other countries like India. India has stopped all the buttons of growth because simply they don't whom to trust. There is no control. I saw in some other interviews he said that Yunus has no control. So that is also true. So it's a very, very unfortunate thing. prosperous country has now coming to a almost grind halt, you can say, so far the economic growth is concerned.
During the interview, Sheikh Hasina also makes counter allegations of corruption against Mohammed Yunus and the current interim government. Could you go a little more into that?
Well, she made that allegation, like what the Dr. Yunus or his government has made certain allegations. It is being probed there. So I don't know whether Sheikh Hasina. I I wanted to ask her that what is the proof of that allegations. So perhaps we are waiting for that because my interview is actually half done. Many of the questions are not answered. So I am hoping that I got a promise that after watching all this impact of this interview, because now in Bangladesh it is your this New Indian Express become so popular now because of this interview. I am getting huge calls that what will happen next, why you have stopped there, didn't you ask many questions. I said I had asked many questions, but somehow she's giving me a half the answer of the half of the questions. But later on, I'm given a promise that she will answer all the questions.
Okay, sir. Now, finally, how did you manage to get this interview? And in the wider play of things, what would you say Sheikh Hasina's role is right now, particularly with respect to India? Do you think a comeback is in the books for Sheikh Hasina?
Well, in politics, anything can happen. But like it is not the first time that Awami League dethroned from the power since after the assassination of father of nation Sheikh Mujibur Rahman from 75 to till you can say 96. But in between for 5 years she came into power. That's true. But she again lost the election. Then Khaleda Zia came into power. But 96 onward, she was in the power till 2024. Now, in politics, no political party cannot be denied any entry into the politics or entry into the power. Because I say one can say that Sheikh Hasina of 1981 is not now. Now she is too old. But 84 years or more than 84 years, Dr. Yunus is in the helm of the affairs. So I think age will not be factor. So far I know her health condition is very sound. Every day he is being checked by his own physician. I have some access about to talking to those physicians. They are saying she's perfectly all right. There is no problem of health. So once you are allowed to do political activities in the country, I think there is a possibility that Sheikh Hasina may come into because common people. I'm not saying all the political people. I'm saying the common people. They are now saying openly the Sheikh Hasina was better. So what is the fault of now? What is happening in Bangladesh? Even during Sheikh Hasina time, there was a huge corruption charges, no doubt in it. But still, we are happily earning livelihood. Those people, the rickshawalas, the daily laborers, they are now saying in every day. I watch their video, comment every day. And what you said that yes, I have been trying to get an interview of her because I took almost 3 to 4 number of times of interview when she was in as a prime minister. She also inaugurated one of my book written on Bangladesh and the former president Pranab Mukherjee. So I knew her. She knows me very well. So like she told me once that not directly, indirectly through her offices, that definitely I'll give her at appropriate time. I will give an interview. So I think that moment has come now.
Okay, sir, thank you. Thank you so much for sitting down with us and giving us an enlightenment into what the current sentiment of the Bangladeshi people are. Also, thank you for taking us into a dive of what their former leader had to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.